like I say, I don't know 180 chords. I don't know 70 chords. I don't even know 24 chords. But I'm pretty close though. Okay. All right, let's take a look at these other chord shapes now. Quick review. The first shape, straight finger, is basically no shape at all. It's a straight finger. In my case, my ring finger is my best finger. Not a great one, but still not too bad. All right. And my little finger is adequate for covering the fret right above it. So whatever major chord I'm modifying from my straight finger rather, I add the little finger to the first string on the fret above it, the first two strings, or the three strings. So what we have here is a straight finger, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. That's it. Those are the four shapes. No shape at all, straight finger, fingertips on the standalone chords where the opportunity arises. Four chord shapes to produce, I think I said about 19 chord types, which then multiplied times, these are movable chord types, times 12 keys, plus the few standalone chords. Some crazy number, about 240 chords, different variations that we can produce with four shapes. But again, they have to be in relationship to other chords, into a progression to make sense. Give an example of some of the chords that these shapes will produce. Now, it's important. Okay, major chord, let's put on the 5th fret. Okay, plus 1, we're going to drop down 1 fret to diminish that major chord. Play the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. Drop down 4 frets and we have a minor 6. Go up 3 frets in pitch with the same plus 1 shape, and we have a bright version of the 7th chord. Remember, the basic 7th was a 2-finger pinch, 3 frets above the major. Now with the plus 1 we get, alrighty then. And the 4, we have 3 types of chords we played with that plus 1 shape. Finished. And we have a 4th. Not a chord exactly, they call it dyad or a 2-finger or a double stop. Same shape, but we're playing the 3rd and 1st strings in this case. Alright. Important to point out that these chord shapes by themselves in a complete vacuum don't necessarily make any sense at all. For example, we talked about most of the chords in the conventional method, not all by any means, but most of the chords are, I'm going to call them discrete chords. They have their own meaning. When you see this particular shape, I'm going to have to do it very slowly. When you see that shape on a guitar, that's a D major. On a ukulele, that's going to be a G major. It won't sound like that's the way I have it tuned, but that particular shape, when you see that shape, you know what that chord is. With our method, when you see this shape, you have no idea what the chord is. When you see this shape, you really don't know what the chord is either. Or this shape, or this shape. We don't know what it is because those 4 shapes can stand in for over 200 different chord variations. Amazing when you think about it. So, it has to be in context with a chord pattern, with another set of chords. So, for this to make any sense, what's it relative to? What chord is it modifying? For example, those two, I'm pinching these 2 strings here. Is that a minor version of this major chord? Or is it a 7th of this chord? I won't know until I hear the entire pattern. So we learn the patterns in the song. Okay, here's something you can, let's give this a try. I don't know if this is much of a song, but here we go. More time. The major chord on the 5th fret. We're going to modify, everything's going to be in relation to that. That's our root, the hypothetical song we're playing, we're going to just use the +1 shape in addition to the straight fingers. So here's our straight finger, up 3 frets, +1, right 7th, straight finger, 2 frets above, there's a 4 chord, back to our root, but we're going to go drop it down a fret and do a +1 for a diminished, minor 6, root, oh boy, double stops. Not a song that I've ever heard of, but that's good. Let's practice that a few times. 4 chord, here comes a diminished root, minor 6, root, let's end it. Oh man, pause that thing, go back and play that a few times. Get a feel for that +1 shape. All right, now the +2 shape, it's more frequently used for a minor. Again, from our root, we go down 1 fret, add 2 fingers, and we basically, all we've done is lower the major third to a minor third. So, all right, we have a minor chord. Oh boy, 4 frets down, we have a 6th, the major 6th. 3 frets above, we have a major 7th. Well, that's 3 chord types, the minor, the 6th, and the major 7th. This was a minor. We can modify any major chord into a minor just by dropping it down 1 fret and playing the +2 shape, all right, on the 3-2-1 strings. Here's something really interesting. Let's go the 2 frets above our major. Here's our major, right, our root. Okay, 1 and 2 frets above that. Same shape, +2, but we're only going to play the 2 middle strings. What we have here is a really condensed, tight harmonic version of that 4 chord. Here's that bright F chord. Here's a more condensed version. Okay, now, when does that come in handy? Well, oh, wait a minute. Well, let's see now. This was a condensed version of my 4 chord as a major, but by lifting my finger, all of a sudden I had a minor. Well, remember, we just talked about converting this major, in this case the F, for example, to a minor. Remember, we can also go down. Remember back with the 1 finger shapes, we have the power chord. We also could go down 4 frets and pluck the 2 middle strings. For part of a minor, well, same thing here. So, we can use 1 and 2 finger shapes. You're not stuck with one or the other. So, well, this is a version of my 4 chord, this being my root. The 2 frets above it will give me that 4 chord. By lifting my 1 finger up, I've got the minor. That's kind of handy. Wait a minute now. If this is our 4 chord, well, can't we play the 5 chord 2 frets above that? We can up here. Let's try that. 4 chord. Sure. Okay. So if I can make this my 4 chord, 2 chord, my 5 chord. So, okay, there's 2 more chords we can play with the shape, +2, but we're only plucking the 2 middle strings. 4 chord and 5 chord, majors, a condensed version of a major. But wait a minute, how about this other string here? If I pluck 3, 2, 1, well, let's see. So, I have a 6th of the major 6. This is my F chord, F6, F chord, F6, F chord, F minor. Pretty handy. With just the addition of 1 finger, or the removal of 1 finger, I went from a major to a minor. pretty easy. By plucking one more string, I have a sixth. By itself doesn't sound like anything. Well, let's hear it again in that progression. Here comes those sixths. Pretty handy. Now, that's a lot to take in. Let's try the shape now, okay? Let's try a pattern using the +2 shape. Let's see. Here's our root. Here's a major seventh. Sixth, 4-chord minor. Let's try it again. Root, major seventh, sixth. Here, let's try that condensed 4-chord minor. Using the 4 and 5 chords in a condensed alternative shape. We're going to make it a sixth. All right, cool. Well, let's see. We said there are 8 different types of chords we could play in this shape. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where's the arrow? The 8th one is the augmented chord. So back to our major. Now, we've used this same +2 shape. Every time we've used it, we've played the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings. Or in this case, for the augmented chord, we're going to do it differently. We're going to move it over 1 string and play 4, 3, 2. That was the augmented. All we've done is, with the +2 shape, we've just brought the 5th up. We've augmented it 1 fret. Kind of a scary chord. All right, now +3, not a lot going on with the +3 shape. There's the +3 shape. Well, back to our major. Again, we'll drop it down 1 fret and cover 3 strings with the little finger, whatever your best 2nd finger is. That's a major 7th as well. Remember, we played a major with +2. Nice and it's higher, brighter, but here it is again. A lower, deeper version of major 7th. And then 4 frets above that, we have another way to play a 6th. Again, deeper, but it's the same chord, and 6 up here. Depends which one sounds better in that particular arrangement, your particular song, which sounds better to you. And also, it may have something to do with proximity sometimes, which one you can get to with more facility. When we ended that song of the Islands before, I mentioned that we did a little 2-finger chord. At the end, we went. Those were +3. I just plucked the 4, 3, 2 strings, 1 blow, and then right up there to the ending on the 6th. Very common jazzy ending. Okay. So again, it's really a powerful tool to have these different chord variations at our disposal, at our fingertips, quite literally. But again, the thing to remember is almost all these shapes are used in conjunction with another series of chord shapes so that our brain will hear music. 1 finger. All right.